79T 2458 Learning Corp. Little Red Riding Hood. Take one.
40 years of my life is in the wire that's gone. Does that make sense?
Where they say there are Indian people pooping on our beach.
It's a spool of wire. 40 years of my life is in the wire that's gone.
Does that make sense? Oh, fellas, hey, it's Saturday. Welcome. Yeah, this one's gonna be fun. It's good to see you. How's things? Have you seen the new Kanye track? Oh my god. They don't let me stay on Twitter. I can't sing any of it. The entire lyric list. It's just, oh my god. Oh, it's made me laugh so hard. It reminds me of like old school iDubbbz. I remember when he used to call everybody, like he'd drop an N-bomb and then he'd drop a slur and an F. You know the slurs. And that would just be what he calls people. And it's like Kanye's like, what are all the words I can't say on and he's like, he made that the song title. And it's played so sincerely and seriously. Like the video's got a bunch of, if you ever watched my Orion video on Kings of New York, there's this one scene where Frank is watching New York theater, and it's a bunch of black crime drama stuff happening on the stage, and it's like under black light, and it's got that same vibe to it. So it kind of plays up the 1980s nostalgia, like woke, We Was Kangs thing. Played sincere, and they're wearing like wolf's hoods and just screaming Austrian Painter lyrics. And I'm like, it's such a catchy beat. I was pouring my coffee and I'm just singing it. I was like, damn it, it's catchy. It's gonna get a lot of people into trouble. Yeah, hey, you made the start live. 6town here on the West Coast, yeah. Anyways, it's funny. Nuke actually brought up a good point. Nuclear Quadio? I'm never good at this pronunciation. Kanye's basically given up being able to see his kids. He's like, I'm rich. I'm a millionaire. I'm the greatest artist ever. Why can I not see my children? And we can argue about whether it's deserved or not deserved, but considering his wife has a sex tape and she's got no problem seeing him, it's clearly a double standard. And God knows it's weird to see like the biggest rap artist of, our generation's kind of up there having the exact same problems that MGTOW 420 has. So essentially, it's like, I can't see my kids. And he just decided, like, you know what? And they're banning me from this, and they're banning me from that, and they're all out to get me. And he's kind of right. And so he's like, well, I guess I'm this guy now. And I was like, and it slaps. Anyways, back to the show. I got some notes. We're doing two things today. We're going to do a quick hour on Red Morning, and then we're hopping over to Orion. We're going to talk about R-rated comic book movies, because god damn, I forgot how much fun we had. There was a reason why in 2012, when the new Judge Dredd came out, everybody was like, oh, I've been waiting for this. Because I'm like, oh my god, I forgot. We had this all the time. And we weren't sick of it. They just stopped making it. Oh, we're not even going into like Fritz the Cat or Star Chaser, Legend of Orin or any of that stuff. We're going straight to The Punisher, which I couldn't believe it. I was checking my thing this morning. The Red Pill stuff is coming, by the way. It's coming. Checking my stuff this morning. It's normally videos have kind of like a slow climb and then they peak and then the algorithm cuts them off and they go there. This one is just like a skyscraper. It's going straight up, which is nice. It's nice to see that I've hit the cultural zeitgeist of R-rated movies. So with the Red Pill stuff, I don't know what the word for it is. It's not irritated. I'm sure you guys, I'm hoping a lot of you guys are feeling it too, because I have my doubts. It's not irritated because it's stuff that I expect. It's not sad because it's the exact same environment it's always been. I've talked about churn constantly. Why is everybody so angry? Well, it's new guys are being angry, but to you, the Red Pill brand is like an amalgamous blob, and it's got a series of 20% of it guys is just perpetually angry. It's just those guys move on and new guys move in, but you can't tell the difference because they're all just anonymous faces to you. So it looks like a constant stream of anger. And I think Jack's kind of nailing it with people trying to reinvent the wheel. So what spawned this little rabbit hole, and this is no shade thrown, there's no drama or fights. It is a perfect story to drive the point home. My buddy Paul, podcast Paul, or not, I can't remember what the difference is between the Pauls. Not Paul Bauer. Said that we shouldn't treat relationships as transactional, something like that. Anyways, if you've been around for any length of time, you know relationships are transactional. You know, let's get into character. Relationships are transactional. The difference is the currency. Everybody's like, oh, I pay my girl and she gives me children. That's stupid. That's hookers. It's like, yes, that one is. We have this interesting thing where it's transactional, but we have this layer of obfuscation on top of it. So we're pretending it's not. Ultimately, if you really boil it down to its brass tacks, the dual mating strategy of women, alpha fucks, beta bucks, lovers and providers, you get the thing. Guys are trading their validation, their status, and the emotional highs and lows of being in a relationship, feelings. And if you guys got any sense to him, he's also trading his opportunity for other women. He's trading that for sex, ultimately. There's, what about companionship and conversation? Like I said, we have a layer of obfuscation. For anybody who tells you this woman offers this and this, ask yourself, would a fat, ugly woman offering it make me inclined to stick around? The answer is usually no. Oh, I need a girl that's smart and challenges me. Well, what if Melissa McCarthy was doing it? Would you still be turned on? If Amy Schumer was doing it, would you be turned on? The answer is almost no. Probably not, unless you're into Amy Schumer, which I don't know why you would, but I'm not here to judge. I'm only here to silently judge. Yeah, and I realize, it doesn't matter how long you're here, it's the same babble. Everybody, why is everybody so angry here? And I talked about the churn. It's the churn outside of here, too, of just the stupidest obfuscation. And I know women have an evolutionary need for that. To create that wall of separation between reality and feelings, because it works out in their best interests. And it's not that they're doing it as a malicious thing. It's just how girls are wired. The whole joke that women just, when she's says she's into nerds, what she means is she's into hot 6-foot guys who wear glasses. They don't understand that what a nerd actually is versus what she's attracted to. It's kind of the same vibe there. Anyway, so I got kind of annoyed and I put a bit of speech, and then I'm just thinking, it has been a while since I've been personally through the sidebar. I used to every year kind of do a refresh. Go back, start at Glover, work your way up, hit Manuel Smith, hit what's her face there, manipulated man stuff, the antibiotic nuke posts. And don't get me wrong, I'm still doing a shit ton of reading on the space. God knows, every week I'm in the formerly named Patreon Q&A, which is now the Praxeology Q&A on Substack. Dude, I don't plug it much because I don't want it to grow super huge. I like having it as a small workshop it is now. It's teaching the red pill as if it was a university course with labs, essentially. It's not bad. I have it on Substack now. It's fieldreports.substack.com. You can subscribe. It's $6-7. I basically stick with the Starbucks Frappuccino pricing model. The fact that we need to do refreshers in these shows, what dumb animals we are. And I know part of it is churn. Some of you guys are new. And if I've been saying the same thing for 6 years, you've only been here for 2. The last 4 years is going to have stuff that you've missed. Oh, I got something in my eye. So I get that. And that's why you can't get frustrated with it, right? Because it's the way it works. But then again, so I was saving this for the end of this one, but I'm going to put it at the beginning. Because I think it's a salient point. And it ties into current events. It makes you wonder about credentialed professionals. Think about all those guys that have to do like an insane amount of research. Think of lawyers might not be a good example, but I'm going to throw them in just in case. Lawyers, doctors, accountants, guys who have their, what was the name of the degree? Information security professionals, sysadmins. Pick anything that requires somebody to give you a piece of paper with your name on a sheepskin. And you think about like how much red pill stuff have I forgotten and have to get reacquainted with over the time. And this is just talking about our dicks. This is not a technically demanding field. Those technically demanding fields, how many of those guys are just riding the coattails of their reputation, and how many of them are actually still reviewing the work to make sure they know what they're doing? It gives you a very jaded and black-pilled view of the professional world. And I've worked with people outside of the military. I would say a lot of people are like, oh, I totally forgot about that. At best, you'll get like a, fuck, there's something I'm supposed to remember with this. And they kind of know where to look, but that's it. Yeah, you go back to the sidebar for a refresher. I come back to you. It's just not chum. Yeah. And every time I do it, by the way, so if you guys haven't done this yourself, I would strongly suggest it. Because one of the biggest joys I get from going back to the sidebar is that the books take on an entirely different meaning depending on where you are in your red pill journey. I'll give you an example. When you're first here, you're probably anger phase off the charts. Your wife cheated on you, your boss tried charging you with espionage, whatever. And you read Esther Villar's The Manipulated Man, and you're like, oh my God, this chick is right. People are fucking with me, and we're so stupid, and we put up with shit, and women have it great. And like all of the indignities, the little indignities of life get put into sharp focus, and then you get angry, and you're like, yeah, I get it. You focus, and you start hitting that gym. Oh, dude, when you're an angry workout is such a good workout as long as you don't get injured. Like a hate. They talk about hate fucks, but no, dude, a hate gym. A hate gym is so much better. You know, long term. Maybe not in the 30 seconds that it matters, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. And yeah, I didn't read it, and I was like, yeah, this is pissed off, I'm great. And then I'd read more stuff, and I'd read more stuff, and I'd get through Glover. I'm like, all right, covert contracts, let's get it on. And then next year, you kind of read it again, you're like, yeah, that's right, I remember this. I totally forgot about that thing. Fuck those bitches. And then year 3 rolls by, and I'm kind of over the anger stuff. I'm past the hard stuff. I'm at the point where I think I was at the 6 months of being an insufferable douche phase that I talk about, where nobody can tell you nothing. You got it all figured out. It's like a residual of the anger phase, very gloatish. You've seen everybody go through it. And, you know, Villar was just, okay, that's the book. I get that stuff, whatever. And then the next year, I read it again, and I was like, Jesus, this sounds like some petty, bitter feminist who was angry that she didn't get to be on the top of the pile, and now she's just lashing out. And it looks like just the ramblings of a crazy old woman, you know? She's just sitting there and bitching and complaining. It's like, why are you bitching? Why are you complaining? And then you'll think to yourself all kinds of different solutions to all the problems. Well, the guy just changing the tire, just keep driving. Who cares? Who cares? And then that's when you kind of realize, oh, it's not that the book has changed. It's that I've grown. It's similar to when I tell you guys, if you ever write field reports, go back to your first field report after like a year. And if you don't look at that guy and just want to slap him in the face, then you haven't done anything with your life. It's one of the best indications of how far you've come, because you don't notice. Every week, you're just slightly different than the you of you. So it looks essentially the same. But after a year, you've fundamentally changed. It's been so gradual, you didn't know it. It's like boiling the frog, but in a good way. And then when you go back to your very first things, you're like, oh my God, who is this fucking retard? I've done it. Everybody's done it. You got to do it. And it's so funny. And you got to feel, some guys feel embarrassed and they delete. I'm like, no, don't delete it. Leave it there. Don't delete it. It's there. It's a reminder. Nobody wants to pull an Athol K and think that his shit doesn't stink anymore, and then hire his wife and then ruin his business, then get a heart attack. You don't want to be that guy. Keep it there. Keep it as a reminder. That is how things can get if I don't have my shit straight. Yeah, Andrew Tate's Romanian passport. My old notes and field reports are absolute cringe. They are. Everybody's is, and that's the thing. That's what I love about it. This whole place is that your notes even. will take on a totally different context over time. And again, it's showing your growth. Like when you first wrote that field report, that cringe field report about how bad you were being treated, to you was the most important thing in the world. She was doing you dirty. You need to be heard. You need to be validated, all of that stuff. And then again, you go back and you look at it and you're like, who is this guy? No wonder people fucked with him. They just could. And that's something, so you're all kind of like sharing your own versions in the chat here, and I get it. That's what I mean. You never really notice how far you've come until you see how far back you started. I think it's one of the worst things that happen too was when people don't do that, and then they follow the material. They get successful and they do their thing, whether it's here or anywhere. The poor guy who made his first million, the unsexy guy who did pick up and got his first lay, or any one of those kind of like rags to riches stories. Anybody who doesn't go back and look at the rags, they end up turning into just an idiot. And not just an idiot, they pull the ladder up from under them because they can't imagine them being anything else but that, because their brain is like, you've always been this awesome, man. And according to your ego, you've always been this. And you'll think you've always been this awesome. You need cold, hard facts there to prove, no, this awesome took a lot of work, and you should take... It's a combination of taking some pride in it and having the humility to know that it wasn't a given. That's why I hate this. You see, fat people do it. I remember I was sailing on ship, my PMC. He lost like 100 pounds, something like that, which for a sailor is not bad. Not bad. Sailors aren't known for losing weight. And then he turns, and he was like he hated fat people. Look at you fat fuck, go lose some weight. And he's like, dude, this was you like 6 months ago. It's like, yeah, I did it. Why can't they? Basically, if people don't do exactly what I did when I did it and have the exact results that I had, they're a fucking moral failure, and I'm awesome. And it's like, dude, that was you. He looked back at his old field reports and, fat bodies in the ship, and he ended up being a prick about it. Same thing as girls, man. They have a whole bunch of fun at the... I always love Verolo's reference. It's such like a 1990s reference, the Cancun foam parties. I don't think they have those anymore. It's like talking about like the fondue parties of the 60s as if like, yeah, these kids and their fondue parties. But the Cancun foam parties. You go down there, you have your fun, you sleep with your guys, you have your thing, and then afterwards you're like, I'm not like that anymore. And what's the first thing they do? They shame every other woman for, how dare you like sex, you stupid whore. Why can't you be like me? And surf Pinterest on your phone all day and tell your husband you got a headache. You had Tupperware parties. It's with peas, Jack, unless you're making a joke about fat people. In that case, Tupperware is hilarious. That's always the hard thing with Jack. He's a Dutchman. So when he has like a play on words that sounds really clever, either he's trying to speak Dutch or it's actually funny. I don't know which. Badass glasses. Thank you very much, sir. These cheap knockoff trucker glasses, these are my gimmick. All right, let's sit proper. I feel like I'm slouching. Oh yeah, it's another thing I've been meaning to do. I'm trying to get... I forgot. So I got a story for you. Went to Dubai in the summer, my deployment, and a lot of guys wanted to get engaged. So we were at the gold souks and they were haggling over the cost of a diamond ring. For there, you basically pay for the weight of the materials, and the craftsmanship is kind of just like for free because they got cheap Indian slave labor building it. So everybody liked the idea of bringing back home like a $10,000 ring for their woman and only paid $5,000 for. For me, it was watches. I loved the idea of having an Omega Seamaster. It's the James Bond watch. I thought it was cool. This one is an actual like James Bond brand. It's got the 007 there, which I don't like, but that's because it's not what I bought. I actually went and got like a proper old school Seamaster. It had the blue chrono ring on it. Anyways, I brought it home. It was the happiest thing I've ever bought in my life. It was awesome. And a buddy of mine threw a metal water bottle at me, nailed the front plate, smashed the thing, broke the watch. I got so pissed that he actually went on another deployment and he picked me up a replacement, which was nice of him. But it's this stupid James Bond one. And I forgot how heavy this is. If you haven't worn a watch in a while, like I tried typing my book and I'm like, oh my God, this is like, It's like holding a 5-pound weight on you. It's just insane. And I always laugh because you see a lot of these guys flexing with their Rolexes and all this shit. And I was like, dude, yeah. Oh my God, you got a $2,000 watch. That's crazy. I got like 3 of them sitting in a box because I realized like, I just don't like wearing watches. Anyways, aside from the story, that's totally not what I was talking about here. Where are we at? I have my notes. I'm checking my notes to make sure I stay on topic when I get distracted by goofy stuff like this. Yeah, so I've read the sidebar for every year now that I've been in. And I'm late this year. I didn't do it at all last year. I got really busy with the dog walker. I got really busy getting Orion films off the ground. And I got really busy on Jake Long's Softbone, which is almost finished, by the way. I'm on the final rewrites of the final chapter. There's only about 8,000 words between you and me and Nick's editing. I did not know the weight gives you carpal tunnel. Sluggo's here. I got mine in a box too. I always laugh because it's like, and this is one thing I've always be cautious about whenever you're flexing on the internet. For every guy who's like, look at my fancy watch, there's 3 other guys who's like, oh, they're sitting in a box. They're such a pain in the ass. I don't like dealing with them. Yeah, so every year. So I'm late this year. I don't know. And I have to make a choice. It's either get back in the books, do a start from scratch one, which wouldn't be bad. Because to be honest, the Patreon workshop stuff, now that it's moved over to Substack, now that it's migrating over, I have like a great opportunity to reorganize and reshuffle it and give it like a proper teaching format to it. I might even release it as a course next year. I mean, at this point, it's like 90% of the work done is mostly just about organizing and marketing it. And God knows if AJ Cortez can monetize he's got like 50 e-courses, and they're all essentially like muscle and fitness magazine articles. And I was like, and they're only like $20 a pop, so it's not expensive. It's not like some $3,000 course, but you sell a couple thousand of those, they add up. And I'm like, oh, good for him. Good for him. And another course on everything that you need to know about writing a book, except for the actual like how to write the book part, because it's like half the work. So that stuff coming up new. Anyways, the sidebar stuff. So yeah, do I go back and one of you guys mentioned it before. Do I go back and read through Glover? We could talk about covert contracts again. Do I see the parts that have held the test of time? Do I see the parts that have not held the test of time? Do I essentially rewrite No More Mr. Nice Guy, but clean it up for a red-pilled audience? It's like a 6-month ask there, but I'm like, there's value in it. Nobody else seems to want to do it. I could do it. Does it kind of step on praxeology? I mean, a little. Yeah, multiple revenue streams of 1,000. Yeah. And then what's the value for you guys, right? Because you can just read No More Mr. Nice Guy and we can talk about the differences. If anything, I almost assume the differences are what make this stuff good. Because I don't like the idea of a perfected list of canon. Oh, dude. Scar Thumb in the chat. Hey, what's up, Dave? I've always hated jewelry. You know what's funny? I have never really loved or hated jewelry. It's just kind of one of those things. Like, I was raised in a very small town with a very diverse population, and so a lot of the East Indian guys that I grew up with, they loved wearing their silver and their gold bling and that, kind of like how you'd think of Italians with gold chains. So it kind of turned me off of it. But then, as I grew up and my time in the military, I kind of got onto it again because it wasn't so much the jewelry, it was about where you got it from. Like the fact that I've got a Dubai, South America story for a watch. I got a Rado in there too and another Seamaster. I even still have the broken Seamaster sitting in there. It's just crushed to shit. They're not going to fix it. They're like, no, this is too bad. But yeah, it was more so where you got it from. I have masks. One of these days, maybe I'll do a house tour. Might be moving in the next like couple years anyway, so. To the US. I have like masks that I picked up from every country my travels to. So most of the stuff I have, it's not so much I like having the bling for like showing off sake or jewelry sake. It's mostly because everything has like a crazy story about how I've managed to get it. So back to the sidebar. Yeah, so the perfection would kind of get away from it because then it will turn the red pill, which what even is that anymore? Between Myron and us and everybody else, it's like red pill is just whatever you want it to mean. It's like that nice litmus test now. It's diluted to relevance. Yeah, I just have one. I like the idea of them talking about them being those like ceramic heat resistant ones. They were pretty cool. Oh, you got a Speedmaster from Japan, same model Shinzo Abe wore. Seamaster is legit, but a Rado is really. I didn't realize. Oh, I guess Rado just is not a branded, well-known brand. So, oh, I'm sorry. I was looking for the CCP parade. This is just a middle-aged dude with a podcast. Oh, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate the kind words. Oh, what was I getting to? Yeah. So if let's say we do all that, we perfect the red pill, we make a perfect version of Glover, not an ounce of fat on the book, not an excess word out of place. What happens then? Well, what happens then is the red pill turns from a hot medium, or from a cold medium to a hot medium. And if you don't understand the terms, that's a Marshall McLuhan, the greatest Canadian intellectual, which, that's a thing. Yeah, it's a thing. Think Jordan Peterson, but useful. And like 40 years ago. So he had broke down the concept of hot mediums and cold mediums. And the idea is a hot medium doesn't require anything of you. Just watch. Sit down, watch. We've got it covered. It handles your imagination. It handles your sights, your sounds, your critical, like all that stuff. All the thinking you have to do has been done. Television's a great example of a hot medium. Cold medium, it's like the radio, books, theater, other type of stuff. It leaves things out. It adds a grit and a grunge to it, and the big part of it is your brain is still required to fill in gaps. Still required to think it through. Now, the beauty of cold media is ultimately it fosters a more creative, insightful, thoughtful, and like all the good fancy brain words. It encourages more of that. It's like training. It's like going to the gym. You can go to the gym and lift all the light weights, and that's a hot medium. Hey, the lifting's all been done for you. The guy can spot your weight. You just barely have to touch it, whatever. Do you get stronger? Not really. Does it look like an impressive workout? I'm in a 1,000-pound club. Meanwhile, your spotter's lifting 900 of them. As opposed to, like, rusted out weights, lifting on your own. Hurts like hell. You have to balance the bar because you couldn't find a clip for one side of it. So if you tip it to one side, the bars fall off and you catch it in the neck. Like, all that kind of stuff. It forces you to be a better thinker. So in a way, if you try to make it better, you kind of make it worse. Because that's my favorite part of it, where everybody's like, well, red pill guy says this, or red pill guy says that. And I just look over and it's like, who cares? Who fucking cares? Does it work? Well, yeah, but the authority figure said it. It's like, dude, people call me an authority figure. Who fucking cares? I'm nobody. In the grand scheme of things, I'm fucking nobody, and I'm happy for that. Last thing I'd want to be is like the most Googled man in 2023. What year did Tate get that a thing? I don't even remember. I just remember it's like, yeah, that's not long for this world. Rolex is like the BMW in terms of brands, the most pedigreed that most people don't know. Yeah. Grifters tell you what to think. Sidebar shows you how to think. Oh, I mean, ideally, a lot of people are desperately looking for an authority figure to tell them what to do. And that's the problem, is that you can't gatekeep those people out. Those people technically need it more than anybody anyway. So you're kind of just, you're on your own. You're on your own. And not only that, there is a vested interest on this side of the screen to get you thinking that way. The incentives are just fucked, man. Like, yeah, I can teach you sidebar stuff. I can show you what's there. I can give you field report. And God knows I do it. And I earn a decent living on it. But I'm not the top earning red pill guy. Not by a fucking long shot. AJ Cortez just did $2 million. Tate was doing like $2 million a year on his alpha male bullshit. And I don't even know. Like, MLD John was making it on a pickup. Like, everybody is making a lot. But that's the thing. Is if you want to be the best earner, you kind of have to run a grift. You just do. There is more idiots with money than there are with sincere people who have a real problem to solve. That whole solving problems is how you make business. It's like, not really. The current paradigm is you need to make the best gambling simulator ever. You need to rely on subscription services that, hey, this guy's going to forget to cancel his subscription and he'll lose your costs underneath all the other costs of his business. You need to get as many of those people as possible. You need to say Stripe canceled your account so you don't have to pay affiliate payments for a month. What's with the audio quiet skipping? It shouldn't be quiet. Like, I'm clipping. I'm clipping right now. I did notice, though, StreamYard, I have to check this every time I get on StreamYard, is that it always turns off or kills the audio. I checked it this morning. My audio levels for this on Windows were set to like 60%. I'm like, what the hell? Why is it not maxed? It's maxed now. I can't get any louder than this. It's as loud as it gets. I wish I could provide something different. Anyways. I even haven't added 5 decibels to it, too. No idea. The bigger the channel, the more the grift. I've noticed that across any topic. That's why Red Pill can't go mainstream. I mean, it kind of already did. It came mainstream. It's been diluted. It's now normie. It's kind of embarrassing. Even me, like, I'm just calling it praxeology now. Not because I think I need to run away from the brand. It's just I need a way to separate distinct. Because I don't need somebody coming in here asking about the Jews or Andrew Tate or Myron or God knows what else is Red Pill nowadays. It's like, no, I don't care about the Jewish question. Look, I like the new Kanye album. The song is pretty catchy, but I'm not about to sit in here going after APAC. It's not my thing. Jack's like, well, funny enough, it still isn't mainstream. I mean, it is and it isn't. When mainstream as a term has kind of changed over the years. We used to have a televised hegemony, like where Nirvana in '93 did Smells Like Teen Spirit on MTV. Everybody saw that. And since the internet's come out, we've been balkanized. There is some, like... I'll give you a good example of what I mean by the balkanization. One of the... And this is like a couple of years ago, but the biggest, fastest growing YouTuber was a guy named Dream Was Here. He was a Minecraft speedrunner, and he came out with a series, Minecraft Hunter, where he had his 3 buddies who were not very good at Minecraft try and kill him before he managed to beat the Ender Dragon. And they had a compass that allowed them to see which direction he was in, like not the distance, but where. So they could chase him over hell and high water. And he had to essentially speed run it while being hunted from behind. It's a pretty good series. It was like crushing it in the algorithm. And you guys have no idea who I'm talking about. 90% of you have no idea who the fuck I'm talking about. And this was a big deal. It was at the point that one of his Discord moderators was accusing him of some Me Too stuff. The speedrunning community accused him of cheating on some of his speedruns. There was astrophysicists doing like calculations on how the odds of him getting these drops from the mobs at the rates they were from the thing was absolutely impossible. So the speedrunning community was all in it. The math community. There's like Numberphile and all these big math accounts that you've also never heard of. They're huge, millions of subscribers. The math community, the Minecraft community, the speedrunning community with Carl Jobst was the big one there, who's now in the news for getting sued by the speedrunning champion of Donkey Kong for defamation, just got played. Absolutely crazy stuff. You guys have never heard about any of this. And there is 100 examples of something equally as big with millions of people hooked on every little detail. Right now, the Ethan Klein and what's the guy's name? Hassan, the political Twitch streaming lefty guys, are having a little civil war over Israel and Palestine. Nobody knows what any of this shit is. So yeah, what does mainstream even mean anymore? We've become so balkanized that somebody can be a 10 million person viewed viral sensation for months and you don't know what the fuck we're talking about. It's not even that, I'm just not into that kind of thing. You're like, what are you talking about? Yeah, or for all we know, watch Asmongold and I don't know anything about Asmongold, except for apparently he doesn't shower, and he kind of reminds me of that Charlie guy, the Moist Critical guy. Never really watched their stuff, never really seen their clips. I know what they would look like in a photograph, that's about it. Biggest thing in the world right now. So what does it even mean to go mainstream? But I'm getting off topic now. Let me see, what's next here? So I've still got... I guess I did the marketing space one. Transactional nature, got that one. Mindset and container words. What the hey? What the hey? Do a quick little break. Where's that chick?
One of the guys who ran the Red Pill channel sent me a message. I actually appreciate that you took it from an idea-based perspective instead of ever resorting to personal attack. Like, if this movement is actually going to be dangerous, do we need to understand it so that we can take it down? I knew going into it that this might be a hot mess. I'm not going to have those guys back on my channel again. Absolutely not.
I remember that was such a big deal when it came out. And everybody was like, who the fuck is that? I'm like, I don't even remember. Savvy writes books, I think. I have no idea what happened to her. She just disappeared from the algorithm. I'm sure she's still... I would laugh right now if she's got like 1 million subscribers still talking about woke books and stuff. That would make me laugh. Reminds me when somebody says, did you see that thing on TikTok? Yeah. Like right now, how many of you guys know Kanye's new song? How many of you guys are singing it at work? Probably not a lot. And that's probably like one of the biggest things happening in this 15 minutes of fame. Had to mute for a second. Yeah, is that, I guess, I don't know what it is about this where the audio of the live stream with the mic is just not... Here, let me get right in there. We'll start whispering and we'll get the mic right nice and close. We'll see if this can get the volume levels going. Apologies if it's too ASMR for you. What was I going with this one? Oh yeah, container words. That was the other thing that kind of got me from the little chat with Paul. Not him, but just the rabbit hole that it kind of got me going down. It's that idea, mindset. Like, how many people here have heard that? Every self-help coach, grifting, talking head, 1984, babbling into the camera, Brave New World character is out there, has used the word mindset. Alpha male mindset, vegan mindset. It's all mindset. You know what mindset is? No. Do you know why? Because it doesn't mean anything. A bunch of marketing guys came up with the idea. They started using the word. A whole bunch of other people used it. And just from pure saturation, we're now in a world where everybody is searching for a specific mindset. You know the beauty of a mindset? You don't have to do anything. I had a joke about it. I put it on Twitter. It won't do any numbers, but that's fine. Where it was like, yo, it's a coach. So I need to know when I can get alpha mindset. How do I know when I get there? And he's like, it's on the receipt. Have a good day. Yeah, it's selling emotion. I still laugh. Hotep, man. Brian just sent me this thing, and it was like the greatest marketing document I've ever seen. And it was, the guy's main point was, your job is to sell people on that whatever they're doing right now is exactly what they're supposed to be doing. It couldn't have been done any other way, and it's the perfect thing they're supposed to do. That's your whole job, to sell them on that. You're great just the way you are. Don't change a thing. And I'm like, mindset is perfect for that. It's a great container word. You know, what is an alpha male mindset? What is a bodybuilding mindset? What is a power mindset? What is a protection? Like anything you want, you throw mindset on it. You know what the other guy does? He fills that box. The box that's got mindset written on. He fills it with all his hopes and his dreams and his aspirations and his insecurities and his necessities turned virtue. Fucking duct tapes that box with the dollar bills he sent you, and he's like, this is the best Christmas gift ever. Thank you, coach. Thank you, coach. You don't need mindset. You need discipline. I mean, but even in that set, like, discipline for what? Discipline, you could be the most disciplined heroin addict, and it doesn't really matter. You can be the most disciplined crackhead, so? Yeah, you have to have purpose, objective, goal. One of the biggest struggles for guys in the workshop is just to get them to define what there is they want to do. Like, what is it you want out of this situation? What is it you're trying to achieve? Months. You will spend months on a guy just to get him to a point where he can admit some kind of actionable, measurable, like a smart goal that he's going towards. And part of it is just we don't want to admit it to ourselves. If you're in a struggling marriage, what do you want? I want to get laid. But you can't say that. Oh, that's wrong. That's evil. No, you have to want... even the field reports, it's just so funny. It's like, yeah, I'm here. My wife hasn't slept with me in 3 months. All right, so let's see your first field report. All right, here's my lifting numbers. I just hit a personal best at the gym. Talked to my boss, made some more money. And they started talking about anything and everything except for what the fuck their problem was. Your problem was a sex life, right? And so, and I get it. It's because a lot of times the guys don't know, how do I get from here to there? And that's kind of my job, so I understand that. So it's like, all right, fine. So your job right now is a lackluster sex life. You want to improve it. Well, you can't make the goal to have your wife sleep with you more, because then she's in charge. Your goal will succeed or fail based on whether she acts or does not act. The only solution you have then is to try and manipulate her to get what you want. And manipulation, overt manipulation, doesn't work. You know why? Because people don't want to be manipulated. They don't. When you try it and when they feel it, it's not just that it doesn't work, it's that people actively resist and go against it. So if you try to manipulate somebody into doing something, they'll do the opposite. And don't give me the, just use reverse psychology. It doesn't work that way, because then they just don't do it anyway. Well, and then you kind of get to that wall where you realize it's how the person has framed their problem is the issue. Well, how am I supposed to get her to sleep with me if I can't manipulate her? And how am I supposed to get her to do that if I can't have her as the goal? So I have to just ignore what I want? It's like, no, you got to fundamentally change and understand what you can control in this situation. You cannot make your wife love you. You can't. You can't make her lust for you. You can't make any of this stuff, because as a human being, they have their own mind. You can't make them do anything. They have to choose to do it. Well, then how does that help me? It's like, it doesn't. Well, then what do I do? Well, your problem was simple. I'm not getting laid. All right. Is the problem that your wife won't lay you? Let's dig into the problem. Is it that your wife doesn't want to sleep with you? Or is it that no women want to sleep with you? And they don't know. Most guys do not know the difference. Oh, I'm sure I could. It's like, are you sure? I'm sure I could. All right, well, let's go find out. I call it catch and release, but it's essentially just going out and testing the waters. Are you attractive enough? Is it possible for you, if you wanted to go out and meet a girl and have sex with her? Not saying you have to. In fact, I mostly tell the guys, whatever your level of comfort is, what do you consider to be crossing the line? And guys will pick a line. It's usually a pretty timid line too, so there's no real, oh my god, you mean oral doesn't get, no, it's usually guy will say it counts unless he touches her arm or something. Whatever it is. Most guys just I just want to see if I can get a phone number. And that's good enough. Honestly, and it's not perfect, but it's good enough. So they go out there and they sort it out themselves, and they'll find out, okay, so I don't know how to talk to women. I don't know where to go to women. Or, oh, dude, this girl was wanting to sleep with me on the first date. It was crazy. Or, this girl was polite, but everybody has a boyfriend now, so I can't do it. And so guys will start to find out, so my problem isn't that I'm sexually frustrated. My problem is that I'm not sexually attractive. Or my problem is my wife's not sexually attracted to me. Now, with that clarity of problem, now you're getting somewhere. Now this container word of you need an alpha male married man mindset has turned into I'm unattractive to most women. How do you fix that? That's where those gym reports come. Oh, dude, hit the personal best at the gym. Diet's on point. That's why that matters. A lot of guys do the gym thing because somebody up here told them to on this side of the camera. It's doesn't matter if I tell you to. Why are you doing it? Well, everybody thinks I'm a fat fuck, so I got to stop being a fat fuck. I can't do anything that requires physical exhaustion or physical exertion without killing myself. I need to get stronger. Why do you want to do that? So I can get laid. Oh, you're supposed to do it for yourself. You are doing it for yourself. Who else are you doing this for? You're not doing it for her. No, she doesn't care about your muscles. You're doing it for yourself, regardless of why your motivation is what it is. And that's honestly, and then watching that parry on through the sidebar is hilarious. At first, they're mad. Fucking wife's a bitch, won't sleep with me. Esther Villar is the man. And then they realize, dude, there's girls throwing themselves at him. And he's like, Jesus, turns out my wife is just a frigid bitch. Oh. Or maybe you've had so much emotional baggage that you've dumped on her that you just can't get past it. Possible. Yeah. Fundamentally, it doesn't matter then. So then the guy starts asking better questions. Well, I'm with a wife who doesn't sleep with me. What am I getting out of this marriage? And that's when they're starting to ask the right questions. It's not about mindset. It's not about discipline. It's not about critical thinking. It's about goal-oriented solutions. And I know that doesn't sound as fancy. That makes it sound Memphis corporate and very meh, but it's true. Oh, so what am I getting out of this? And then you realize you're getting nothing out of it. I'm not getting anything out of this. And I'm desperately trying to make it work. Well, it's why are you trying to make it work? If you were at a casino and you just kept losing money, who do you think's going to sit there trying to make it work? Gambling addicts? Yeah, addicts. They're the ones that try to make it work. You know why? Because they're addicts. Do you know who's I'm a functional crackhead? Crackheads say that. Actual functional crackheads don't call themselves functional crackheads. They're busy being functional. They don't even think about it until they can't. So mindset. You need mindset. No, you don't. You need to fucking drive towards a goal that you actually want. You need to define the goal you actually want. Yeah, you need some discipline to get there so you don't fuck around or fuck the dog, which it turns out is a very Canadian thing to say. I guess you guys don't talk about fucking the dog in the States. It's a term for laziness, by the way. But I mean, but mindset's easier. It's easy to sell mindset. Oh, dude, aspirational goal mindset. That's what you want. You want this aspirational mindset, alpha male mindset. You want Christian man mindset. You want the good feminist mindset. You want a man of responsibility challenge mindset. You want a fancy gold coin. You want my finger painting on your fridge. Like, fuck you. But hey, that's why I'm not sitting here bragging about my $2 million e-course payday. And other people are. Apex crackhead mindset, yeah. Is it worth posting? It's worth doing anything if you do it right, Wounded. Like, here's the thing. I'm not the guy to ask that to because I'm biased. I'm going to drive you to my workshops. You know why? Because I consider my workshops to be functionally as good, if not better, than the Married Red Pill, with the added inclusion of, like, curation. Because there's nobody in charge. You're on your own, right? And mine, I'm like, oh, it's just a couple bucks a month and you do this. But that's the thing. That's what I'm supposed to say. Whether it's true or not, it's irrelevant. It is. I wholeheartedly believe it. There's no grift on there whatsoever. It's at the point that if somebody's wasting our time, you get some, but it's up to you, man. You got to use your brain. I'm just going to tell you to sign up to my thing. That's it. You might as well. But be warned, just because you're throwing $5 at me doesn't mean I'm there to kiss your ass or make you feel good about yourself. The reason I've priced it so low is so that I have no qualms about keeping the place gate kept for those who are worth a damn. Uh-oh. We'll get to it in a second, but first.
So the meme, they're very good. This is really, they've taken it.
True Alpha
named Ryan Stone.
It says, ask Murphy about the article he wrote, cuckolding his wife. Clear up the cuck article. Clear up the cuck article.
Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me?
If I wasn't prepared to literally impoverish his entire bloodline,
I am now concerned for my career.
And I still recommend clear up the cuck article.
You know what? Fuck you for bringing this up. Yeah. Fuck you. Heartfelt.
I'm not going to have those guys back on my channel again. Absolutely not.
Just use a little bit of fucking common sense.
It is just... That's great. You should.
Fuck you.
Sorry, apologies.
Just keep going, dude. One foot in front of the other. Before you know it, this will all be in the rearview mirror. Fuck you.
All right, Bish. I see your super chat. €5 super chat. Thank you very much, sir. Hope it was worth it. A heartfelt to you, Couch. Heartfelt to you too, you son of a bitch. Forget all the marketing bullshit. Just do something and get better at it. That's the secret. Well, you gotta get better at marketing too. This is a side topic, but whatever. I'm caught up in a lot of like author drama right now. It turns out the independent author space has their own little thing. Some chick was complaining. She's like, somebody finally left a review of my book and it was a 3-star review and I'm crushed because now the algorithm hates me. And you read it, I would pay money. I do pay money. I pay people money for editing. I pay Nick to edit, and he isn't even this critical. Which maybe it's because I'm not that bad, but it's this point. I'm using hyperbole to get the point across. This guy left a thoughtful critique of her work, and it wasn't even a bad critique. It was like, it's not there yet, needs some polish. And then went into like very specifics, like, dude, you would pay $1,000 for somebody to like give you this kind of feedback. And she's crying about it. And then all the indie authors, mostly chicks, are sitting there. It's like, you just ruined her chances of success. Why can't you be nicer? And then every guy is like, bro, I would kill for somebody to be honest about my work like that. That's awesome. This is why nobody takes independent authors seriously. You're a bunch of pussies. Having said that, probably some of the best marketing, if she had put her fucking book in there, people would have bought it just to see, is this guy's critique as bad as they're saying? Fucking ridiculous. But yeah, and it's one of those things where the only reason I'm not more successful in the red pilled space or in the writing space or nonfiction space or the fiction space, whatever. It's just because people don't know who the fuck I am. That's the hardest part about being a content creator, about being a coach, about being a writer, is getting people to learn your goddamn name. And there is no press that's bad press. I know that, like, well, this technically is. Yes, that is true. If you're diddling a kid or something stupid like that or something criminal, arguably bad press. But aside from that, there is no way to demean you. I don't know why these things aren't sitting well. Like, there's no demeaning way to have you lose on this thing. She basically wrote a review about, or had a review about how much of a piece of shit her book was. Would have probably gotten her 1,000 sales if she used it properly. She's supposed to be perfect out of the gate, and it's everybody else's fault. I would kill for something like that to happen. It's nice. So, yeah, skip the marketing, just get better. Yes, getting better is a part of it. You kind of have to do them both in tandem, though. And I hate to say it, it's the way it is now. There is too many people. There is too much out there to have as like an alternative. Learning how to market is really important. And that goes for everything. Yeah, some of the stuff might be, that doesn't actually help. You're just manipulating your wife. And it's like, you can't really manipulate her, but at the same time, if you're not going to call yourself awesome, who is? Have you tried being 6 feet tall and a real man? Yeah. You know who else was 6 foot tall and a real man? Roman McClay. The living example of not all attention is good attention. After the 6th murder and the death by and the suicide by cop, pretty sure he can't monetize that attention too well. Whatever. Back to the point though. Okay, so we got marketing, space, basics. Most guys can't be bothered. Oh yeah. The triple heart attack man. Where is that? It was my latest Substack. If you're not on these, by the way, you really should. What I do is essentially, sometimes I grab current field reports. Sometimes I grab past field reports. It's not stuff from the workshop. The workshop tends to be a lot more boring from this because I kind of help the guy before he gets to this point. But some of the original stuff is just amazing. And this is one great because there's like a type 3 captain. You almost never see these ones. You see a lot of type 1s. You know, the guy's been slacking and the girl's begrudging. Picks up the slack. You see a lot of type 2s where it's just 2 neurotic people and the guy's walking on eggshells. Type 3 is like girl boss stuff. You don't see a lot of it, which is weird because that's all you see in media. But yeah, it made me... And the part I love about the case studies is they're longitudinal, right? So his first field reports were like 7 years ago. And it was about, you know, my wife's a bitch. I can't do anything right, blah, blah, blah. Complaining about all this stuff. She's bitching about him. And at the end of it all, it was just dysfunctional, just a mess. And he's like, she really wants kids and I feel bad. I don't want to deny her because I waste her good years and all that stuff. And so it's like basically his life is shit. And his plan is to throw a baby in her to fix it because he feels bad that he's her last shot. And it was just like, holy fuck, it's a train wreck waiting to happen. Don't see anything from him from 3 years, by the way. 3 years. And he's like, and he heard the advice and everybody's like, dude, you need to walk away. It's not your fault. It's not your problem. He's like, you guys are right. You guys are right. You guys are right. What happens? Let's get to the, yeah, there it is. Now he's 40. His wife's 39. He's got triplets. I guess from the way it worked, it was he did IVF and she was just going 3 at a time and triplets. Holy guys, can you believe this? She calmed down a bit, obviously, because she was pregnant. She was busy on other things. They had the 3 kids. They're too busy to focus on that. The kids were like 2 and 3 years old now. Something like that. And he's like, oh, this stuff is coming back. I thought we dealt with all these problems, but now they're back. And it's so much worse because now she has debilitating postpartum. He had a heart attack. She's got depression. He ended up having to take care of all the kids. She doesn't even want to be a mother again. He gave up his business to help her move back with her family so that could be better. Now he's broke. She's doing well. She doesn't like him and he's just fucked. The heart attacks are the ones that get me too. Like he's dying. He's literally dying. And what was his point for this? Like, what is it you want? Why do you rate this field report? He's like, let the beatings begin. He literally went there as a Catholic confession. It has been 4 years since I have sinned. Red pill guys, please call me a faggot and let me get on my day. And it's just like, And the worst part is stories like this, like these hard-ass tales, guys love these challenges. Oh, dude, I've got 500 opinions for you. It's the greatest thing ever. You got to do this. You got to do this. Fuck that bitch, blah, blah, blah. And partially it's because everybody loves a challenge. The idea of fixing this hard-done case, oh, dude, if you were a red-pilled coach making money and you could say, like, I went from this to the guy is now making millions of dollars and his wife sucks his dick. Like, oh, dude. He fits all the check boxes, too. The victim asking to be berated to make himself feel better about his failures. Well, you guys yelled at me, so I'm forgiven. It's like, that's not how it works, man. And what happens is he's already shown that before. He doesn't make any changes. He doesn't fix anything. He just wants to wallow in self-pity. He wants to be told literally what I told you before. Everything you did was exactly what you should have done. None of it's your fault, and it's the best thing you could have done. Don't change anything. Have some mindset. Have some red pill mindset. He knew all the terms. He knew all the jargon. He was able to say a green amplify and a muse mastery. He didn't use them at all. He didn't use them for any purpose. He didn't understand them, but he knew them well enough to type the words in there to make everybody else feel like, oh, this is reassurance. Doesn't matter how bad it gets for us. We can be like this guy. It's like, no, you can't. Only thing to do about this, you got to let these guys fail. He wants to fail. He can't not, like, there's nobody accidentally makes this many consecutive mistakes without there being something in it for him. He wants to fail. And you see these guys often. A lot of them, they want to fail. I don't kick them out. I do let them know this is what's happening, though. And more often than not, they leave. But some guys stay, and I'm like, look, you're subsidizing the other guys, so I don't have to charge them $500 for the same thing. So enjoy this as much as you did, but you're going to get the same speech every time. But yeah, Catholic confession. It's one of those things. Once I started seeing it, I couldn't not see it. It's not even so much like Rich Cooper calls it, where guys like to complicate their lives and then justify why they did it. So they want an absolution. They complicated their lives because then it's not their fault. Guys will actually do this. I know girls do it too, but I don't really care about girls. Guys do this. They sabotage their life. Because then, when things go wrong, well, of course they were going to go wrong. This was a horrible decision. Well, why didn't you make a better decision? Because if I made a better decision and things went wrong, then it's my fault. But now it's not my fault. It couldn't have happened any other way. And you realize it's just this weird avoiding of accountability. Guys would rather be miserable in a predictable story than to write their own story and have the possibility, not even the possibility, the likelihood of succeeding with a possibility of failure. Oh, no, I can't take that. Can't take that. And then he starts doing field reports finally. It's so funny. And then what's he do? Same as everybody else. Starts talking about his lifting stats. Like, dude, the lifting is the last thing about you. Oh, yeah, alcohol and porn. That was the other one. Oh, dude, no fap this, no... Like, dude. You're sitting here. You got a heart attack. Your wife, depressed, postpartum, hates you, doesn't sleep with you. You got a heart attack. And you're sitting here talking about, you know what my issue is? Jerking off too much. It's like, not really. You got bigger fish to fry. And it's not even so much like whatever. If you want to do the no fap or no porn or whatever, and you want to do stop drinking because you want to, temperance, or maybe it helps you get things, or maybe this, that's fine. But this does not need to be the focus, the thrust of your field report. This does not need to be like your main action. Do you know people who like, I gave up porn and I gave up drinking? Do you know why they spend so much time talking about it? Because that's the only thing they did. Which is literally nothing. What did you do? I did nothing. Really? Yeah. I stopped things. I just did nothing. And you're proud about this? Well, got nothing else to be proud of. Everything else requires me to do something. It's just fucked. And of course, and this is why, like, I know why people make fun of us. I do. It's because they read this shit. They read this shit. They're like, look, another red pill. They used to call us terpers. Look at this terper with his fucking no fat. What an idiot. Triplets with a girl doesn't even like him. What, is he stupid? And they look and they laugh and like, oh, these red pill guys are idiots and they're telling guys to do this stuff. And it's like, of course we look bad. Look what we got here. Do you think people show up here because life is going great? Dude, made my first $1 billion. I'm going to go hang out with the red pill dudes. Nobody does that. Hell, Carl left this space, got over his divorce, upgraded his job, got a new hotter younger girlfriend. He's fucking out of here. Later, boys. Even me. I've kind of done my piece. What am I doing now? I'm writing cyberpunk fiction. I'm writing contemporary fiction. You think I want to sit here for the rest of my life and be talking about, hey guys, what the real alpha male needs right now is mindset? I'm not fucking doing that. Are you crazy? Sit here, I'll be a 60-year-old man. Alpha male. Fuck you. And I feel the worst for this. You know who I feel the worst for? I feel the worst for like guys like Myron and Tate. And I know you guys should talk shit about them all the time. I do. Like the branding I think is horrible, but here's the pity part. And they made enough money, I don't think they need to worry about it. I mean, except for Tate's going to jail. What can Myron do now? Like, what can he do? He tried making a Fed talks about the news thing. Nobody cared about that. He's like, oh, I'm bringing all these business people. They're talking about, nobody cares about that. You know what they do? They watch when he yells at fucking OnlyFans chicks. And when somebody pulls a gun at him in his studio, that's what everybody watches. So that's his thing now. And he can't leave it. Because nothing he does will be as successful. And he doesn't want to take a step down. I don't think he needs to. I'm actually surprised he hasn't left. Why he's sticking around is beyond me. I'm like, dude, you've made enough money. Just fucking nope out, go full Luddite in your mansion, call it a day, man. Whatever. Yeah, now what's his thing? He's like, oh, I'll try anything. So he's yelling at Jews now. I don't know. I know it's popular right now to yell at the Jews, but I'm just like, I don't see this being sustainable. So far, the best run of anti-Semitism, I think, lasted, it was like 10 years, from like 1930 to 1939, and then it kind of hit a speed bump. Got really unpopular for a bit. I would hate to be known as that guy, because then it's very hard to pivot to something else. Like, what are you going to do, switch to Minecraft Let's Plays after that? Probably not. Anyways, back to this. Bishop's like, yeah, and how does absolution help anybody fix the decision? It doesn't. So yeah, I guess I've hit all the points. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoy. Stick around. Don't leave, though. We're going to the other channel. It's going to redirect you. It'll take you right there. The Punisher. 89's The Punisher. I would argue comic book movies were better back then. Serialized action thrillers. I got a whole bunch to talk about. And I hate YouTube movie reviews. I hate them. I'm making my own just because I hate those other ones so much. The people that like this movie are stupid at liking it. They don't even know why they like it, and they pretend they don't. And they're the caravan of garbage just calls it like wonderful slop. It's like, fuck you. It's at the point that I almost want to go back to communist kids talking about philosophy and all that. Like, fuck these guys. Anyways, come over there. We're going to have a blast. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break, refill up the coffee. You get like a 2-minute intermission. So yeah.
'79T 2458 Learning Corp. Little Red Riding Hood. Take one.